Yeah. So, I guess, so we have these, right? So the ceiling texture, let me see that. Alright, cool, so we have that. Do like the wood on the top, and then I'll work on making this be, oh, what do you call it? What's the circles at most? I want to have, not this texture. I want to have like an actual reasonable texture. Excuse me? Okay. Hello? Okay. Oh, hello. Hello, Arthur. How is and are you? How is the skunker today? Oh, very good with the cinnamon in it. Ooh. Tag work kicked your ass. By the way, not sure if it's just because you're a little late to see it. You stream intros? I do not. I don't stream intros. I'm way too damn lazy to do so. And this is much more of a... I mean, it's more of a... you know, devlog and something to be... something to give me, like, accountability than it is for, like, an actual stream kind of situation, you know? So... because I don't really have a consistent... Yeah, it's a lot more casual. I don't have a consistent watching... I don't have, like, a consistent audience. I don't have, you know, much of a reason for doing intros and outros and all that stuff. It's just more, you know, I want to just give myself something, because, like, if I just say, hey, make videos, then I have to also make videos. And I do not have the energy for that. I have the energy for streaming. I just click a button, start talking into the void, and do fuck all else. You know, just do what it is that I've been doing normally anyway. And just have, like, the potential of an audience. And then, since I do restream, and I am dual streaming not only to Twitch, but also to YouTube. That means that I also just have everything automatically archived into YouTube. So that's pretty much all that it is. I probably should be, more conscientious of the shit that I say, but I also don't care enough. I mean, it is what it is. I shouldn't have to feel the need to hide who I am or what I say. Just because it's being reported. Anything that I don't think you should have to. If you're self-aware enough to not say something simply because you're being recorded, then you should be self-aware enough not to say it at all. You know what I mean? So, I mean, granted, a lot of things will be, a lot of things are going to end up, like what is socially acceptable now may not be in 10, 20, 30 years or whatever. Or even 5 years, next year, next month, even tomorrow, the kind of status quo kind of changes and stuff. And pushing boundaries is going to cause problems. But I feel like context is critical, and I will stand by it. And if that means that I'm gonna get, canceled simply because I don't do intros because I think they're stupid, well then fucking so be it. I don't want to be a part of that ecosystem. You know what I mean? I don't care. I mean, I have rebranded and started entirely new channels several times. And that's mostly just because I just like the idea of just starting completely fresh. It's also bit me in the ass quite hard, which sucks. So. I mean, I really don't give a shit, Planker is one of these things that it is a real slur, right? But it is a real slur in the way of promoting it's in contempt of the automation of human creativity, right? The people that are being offended by the word clanker are people that should be offended by the word clanker and should be removing themselves from society. They are promoting the automation of human creativity, right? And this is coming from someone who does use AI a lot in all kinds of different things. I use AI, I even use fucking AI art all the time, right? But all the stuff that I generate doesn't see the light of day. The only person who sees it is me. I'm the only person who looks at them, right? They are for personal use, or like the color remapping, the color remapper that I wrote. I packaged it with some AI art, but that's just as a I just generated an image so that I had an image to work with, right? I'm not selling the image as my own artwork, This is kind of ironic because the my channel icon is actually the line work is actually AI generated through ChatGPT actually, and I just have to But like what I did was I sat down and I inked over it, right? I just used it as a baseline to do things. So once I get like my VTuber model up and running, I'll go in and I'll completely redo my image as well. You know, because I had a very different I mean, and it's also part of the reason why I did a full rebrand, and created entirely new images and just entirely new accounts and everything from the ground up, because I wanted this to be a throwaway account and just like a throwaway identity, entirely separate from myself. And that didn't, that's not what happened. So I kind of regret, especially on the Twitch side of things, I really regret creating a whole new account rather than just using the account that I already had, because the account that I already had was already verified through everything. Everything was already verified, and it was using my Google Voice number, which I'm probably going to end up looking into potentially other sources for free separately usable numbers. So something like Google Voice and something along those lines. Because I just really don't like how easy it is to lose a phone number for a lot of people. It's just really easy to lose phone numbers. Although, granted, I've had this number since 2015, so it would be really great if I just hold on to it. But I don't think I can release it from Google. But I also don't trust what Google is going to do. Right? Like they've already changed. They've already like dropped support for it as a browser extension. They've already done so many things of just like quietly trying to get rid of Google Voice numbers altogether, and that is really bad for me because I have so many things linked to it. It would be better if I could have access to something that's a little bit more self-hosted or something along those lines, or more communally hosted. If I can find a community hosted service like Google Voice, then I don't have to worry. Because if shit really hits the fan, then I can host it myself. And that sounds really good to me. It would be something that, while I don't have the resources, the rest of the community can host it, and while I do have the resources, I can host it. And that would be something that would be really beneficial. And I kind of want to do the same thing with like Yggdrasil, switching over to using Yggdrasil once I have the money to literally build my own router and getting a modem and all that stuff. Would be super awesome. I would absolutely love that. Or like a soft router or something through my laptop itself and other stuff like that. But only time will tell, so we'll see. We shall see. I'm definitely getting into some territory that I'm gonna have to start thinking about my impact with. Yeah, because I know that as soon as I get monetized, like the instant that I am monetized, I'm taking down my icon. Right? Like, it's fine right now because I'm not monetized. I've literally turned off ads on the YouTube side of things because I don't think it'd be very fair to people on YouTube to have to deal with ads if people on Twitch don't have to deal with ads, right? Yeah. But so here we go. Let's do the wall text. We have this text. I want to rename. How can I rename? Is there a way that I can just rename shit? Because that'd be nice. What if I could do it for? Because it would be nice if I just made this a wood text. Right. Because, you know, I'm not necessarily saying the ceiling and the, you know, the ceiling anymore. That's just wood. So I want the wood texture. I'll make it be, I don't know, some fucking shit. Another thing to keep in mind when dealing with GLSL stuff. Text. Oh, it's not a float, it's effective. Effect 3 text. We can do a E and look at T. Yeah. So, I mean, this is an I vector. For one, I want to have a vector 2 E is equal to plus. I'll cast it as 2. And then we can do we do this. I think it's, yes, I've seen all of them actually. I have seen all the How to Train Your Dragon. I do love how this wood turned out. I really like how the wood turned out. The wood texture turned out really fucking good. It's like very, very nice. So now, how do we make the floor? How do I make the floor look like concrete? So the main thing that I want to do so this is what things are. Because I don't know if I want to I only watched them once, so I'm not like super familiar. I don't really know the I don't really know the species themselves very well. I don't really remember much of those. Personally, why the is my shit down on 5 dude? Yo, that means be at 93 degrees. Stop. That's enough. That is way too damn hot. But so one of the things we do here is the I don't know the floor look like poured cement. I don't really remember what they were like. Like that's kind of the problem. Like, I don't remember very many of any of the dragons, to be honest. So like it's been several years since I've seen How to Train Your Dragon, and I've only seen it once. And there's a mountain of trauma between then and now, so I'd have to like sit down and look at them through the lens of which one of these would I want to train myself, kind of thing. I think I kind of like that show with that. Okay. So how do I do? Because I don't necessarily want tiles per se. Yeah, no, I feel you. I mean, I pretty much do the same kind of thing. You know, one day I found, making games and how games function, how games are made under the hood, to be interesting. And then, yeah, here we are. Not just that, but like design, game design. What makes a good game? What is it that makes a good game a good game? Like why is a Portal critically acclaimed but no one knows a single goddamn thing about Cube? Was it the accessibility? Was it because of how many people ended up playing Portal versus Cube? Because it was just a lot more in the public eye. Is that why? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, your wallet definitely thanks you on that one. Well, hey, at least you know it'd be a great equalizer, because the only difference if you made a bunch of money and now is if you made a bunch of money you'd still be poor, but hey, at least you have more Warhammer bottles. Okay, so that's that. We also still have the cell. We're not changing that. So what happens if I say you don't? Maybe there's some really crazy striations. I don't necessarily know. Interesting. That sucks. I mean, this wouldn't be too terrible for like a wood grain. What if I do 18? Oh, right, because the only way the most it's ever going to be is and fun. That would be terrible for like wood grain. I might think about this. Wood grain and then also modulate it some more. If I can like really heavily work with, I mean, let's okay. So we have that, and then I want to create another modulation. So we have like this kind of separation stuff, but we want to have more of a variation, I feel like. Really good. But like, I want something else. Okay, so we have these kinds of interactions. These, so there are some bits. So we could do, that is the first point. And then from here, um, oh yeah, okay, let's see. There we go. Oh, okay. I'm going to have I'm thinking about how to do this. Because I actually feel like I want to change how I do my system. Because it would be really nice if I could just have, you know, OBS and stuff. Because then I could, I think that. Okay. So I have a way to offset that. We have a way to offset the two. Is it 1 plus root 5 on 2? Something like that, I think. Yeah. Let's do one point once. Yeah. H1 to no. So we have pi and phi. Wait a minute. Oh, so these are fine. So yeah, we have fiber to wood texture. So actually all texture concrete texture. Times phi on pi, and then times pi on phi. Ooh, okay. That's a little sticky. This gives it a little bit more variety. There's a lot more intrinsically interesting stuff going on. Interesting. Yeah. Description instead of inscription. So we have these, we have we could do this. I could do pi times pi and then pi times pi, you know? Pi times pi, 5 times pi. Make it a little bit more condensed. These are going to be two irrational numbers. So, adding them never truly would be better. Because I could do I could do wow. One dot XP. Interesting. very strange. That's how I turn it on. So these are cutouts and stuff. What happens if I do that? Interesting. So you can still clearly see the lines, so the lines are still quite strong. And I could do a frac, and then I can multiply one against the others, and how that works. Very... Well, this is interesting. This is like cutting out and interesting. So what I want is if I do like a sign.x, sign.y, sign dot also I think what I actually to have yeah, two we have point P1 is equal to a bunch of vectors. Say P1 is equal to the sum. Actually, it should be it's equal to the sum. So, mm, interesting. Yeah, that's a lot of like really super vague, very vague stuff. I like it. I need to have some kind of process. And then I kind of want to use this to because I have a lot of really good.
Time to stretch.
Thanks. These floor textures kicking ass. But I suppose it's that. Get a lower back. Good strength. I'm gonna call Jiffy Pop into my back. I don't stand to be in the city. She goes around it. I'm gonna flip my mattress up pretty soon. Yeah, I got the ceiling. The ceiling looks great. This floor looks like shit. Let's see. I'm gonna make procedural stone. See if the Google can tell it. There's like bricks and stuff, bricks and tiles and things like that. Really easy easy to. But like stones and bricks and shit, like that's much more difficult. Interesting, because I could do one. I could do words. So yeah, I could do a word on this. Because I could do crowds. So doing this time to take a look at. So let's take a look here. Let's do all I need to do is figure out what information is necessary. So we have there's I have a very special interest in computer generated textures and graphics programming in general. Just knowing what it is that you can do with shaders and just what you can actually do with a GPU is just deeply fascinating to me. So this is the kind of stuff that I look for. So one of the things we could do, you can say each of these cells has a center. Okay. If each one of these cells is offset, let's say L, but it might be like a dot product gradient thing. Which I mean that it could be a thing. Right? I don't really want it. Because I don't know what happens if I like say I don't know, like added up everything. Because no matter what, the centers are all going to be. I guess it's not like the worst thing. Because I can also do it on a per.
I need more caffeine. My blood is not thin enough.
If I do on a per cell basis, I could do. If we take a look, this is way too regular. Oh, right, that's what I was going to do. P1. It's like, what happens if I add these two? What if I add the two and then put this on the back? If I take... the dot product of this song. Ooh. Oh. This is very promising. Oh, this is super promising. Oh. This is like really, really chaotic. Very broken. Um, oh, but the deepest parts. Well, like, we did a lot of similar striations and shit. Can do. And this is gonna look a lot more. Cool. And then I can like, squish this down, and like I can flatten this out by a lot, and then lift it up. Right? And flatten this out a lot and lift it up. Right. Or oh, interesting. Oh, is very lots of squigglers, squigglies all over the place. And then it gets more and more chaotic the deeper and deeper you go, which is really cool. This is like really nice, like macro scale chaos, which is just really cool. And then I can do basically the same thing again, and like offset it off the thing. Just like offset it. Rotate the whole system by like some irrational number. But this is looking really nice. I mean, it's still very chaotic and regular, which I don't necessarily. And if I do that, 2 points, and then make this. Do some other ones. Hello? Dude. I don't know how to. I think this is gonna be way too early. Like, the big thing is that we can. Okay, this is. Because like what you want to do is you want to have um, a bunch of these that talk to each other. You can do that by like adding them and stuff like that. You know, basically like taking the average and things. So I could like take this and add it to that, and then just like rotate it by some amount, by like 5, 5, or like 5, or something. And do this whole sequence like 4 times, making it, I can do that. And I actually think I want this to be a little bit more. These are stretched and pulled and stuff. Okay. Then, what we can do is, this is what we want to do. So, Hmm. Yeah. That's possibility. Sine, cosine, cosine, sine, negative sine, cosine, negative. Yeah, it's cosine, sine, negative sine, cosine. Not true. Mm-hmm. Sine, cosine, cosine. Zero and one, zero, zero, one. That is zero, one, negative, zero, yeah, this one, 5, 7, 5, negative, 7, 5, 7, 5, once, um, do square root. So I can do square root of 1. That's good. Good variation. And make it more pleasing. Son of a bitch. So actually, listen. Flattens it out a little bit. I mean, this isn't the greatest. Square root. I'm not square root. I don't know how I feel about this. When you posted, when you sent him over like fucking 4 last night ago. I mean, yeah. There's, scope. 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 Scope projects. Easy books like that. Ooh. That's actually kind of like quite a bit different. I don't know. This is pretty. Oh, this seems very. It's fairly. Really confidence. That means like actually something. Okay. Like 3 pi divided by 5, I think. This is going to be very good. And the thing, like what I can do here is like also detecting all this stuff, you know. Monday. I'm not dropping any frames. How many games do you have in the ideas vault, and how many? At one point, I had over 60. So, yeah, and I've actually lost a lot of them. So, there's the Trifecta Trilogy. There's Gravity Well 1 and 2. There's Turn. There's definitely not Quake, definitely not Minecraft, which I think I'm gonna call the not Minecraft Stortham. Well, I mean, at least that's what it was before. Then there's Starforge. Those are the ones that I can actually remember. Trifecta is... Oh shit, there's also Primal. Fuck. Yeah, Primal. That one's gonna be... That one's... Primal's a horror game that is based off of the D&D campaign that I ran. It literally gave one of my best friends a real life phobia of flickering lights for like a decade. For damn near 10 years. Yeah, for like at least 5 years. A visceral, indescribable repulsion towards from flickering lights. Yeah. Like, I did a really good job. Yeah. Let's see. I don't know. It just kind of depends on, you know, what kinds of things that I end up wanting to make and stuff. So I just need to get more into the habit of actually making videos. Like, I'm kind of okay with this texture. I don't super like it. Like, it's pretty good. I guess it's fairly okay. I think if I divide by 2 and then do the add. Because I do the thing at the front. And then it's a quarter, 3/4. I don't know. I think if I do Hmm. Interesting. This definitely porting without the. Yeah. What do you think of this? I don't think this looks. I think this looks pretty good. Yeah, this looks a little bit better to me. But yeah, to answer your question, I have quite a lot of. I mean, I had a lot of, ideas vault games that I've just kind of let die out. Because like literally I just have one pathway there to go towards, and that is making Sparkle. Hence why I'm doing all these games. Ooh. This isn't for. I don't know if I want that. They get super with stuff like that. I don't know if I do. So I do have quite a bit. So divided by 1. Divided by just a couple items. I think I should. I don't need to be like extra perfect, just kind of makes them perfect. Um, almost. Almost. Let's see. Okay. So I can do that. Interesting. Yeah, you can do that. But, yeah, I did. I have a lot of games where I had issues in mind. Mm. Okay, so what is how am I going to hmm. I can also change. And changing this looks nice. I like it. It's good. It reads like it's It reads like it's a predefined texture, but it is. I mean, it's down enough. I think it's down stone ass. Um, so like, I guess that's fine. Oh, yeah, that happens all the time. It just kind of comes with the territory, because you're gonna be, doing a lot of, because you're going to be inspired by other things, right? Um, you are inspired by your ideas do not exist in the background. They come from your skin. So a lot of it just comes in with um, so like a lot of it just comes from understanding where the inspiration comes from. And even seeing a lot of similarities in a game idea being expressed like in another game isn't necessarily a bad thing either. Right. But yeah, like that just kind of comes with the territory. And then you can either lean into that, or use that as you just use that realization to guide you, either away from what it is you're doing, or towards it from a different perspective. Right. So I have that. So I can do. Hmm. I mean, yeah, your game idea is fairly unique, right? Because there's just not we don't see another game do what we're doing quite in the same. Um, yeah, and making digital card games is a cost payments, as you have come to find out. That shit is not fucking easy. So, you know, okay. I don't know. I don't know if I like this more or if I like this less. Because this is a lot more subtle, but this is a lot darker. There's a lot less. Um, like the floor doesn't have the same kind of stark stripes. I don't know, what do you think? What do you think? Yeah, actually, I think that's about right. Yeah, that's about right. It's about the same ratio. Um, and I can't do the algorithm that I want, which is unfortunate. I need to correct something I have literally everything is procedurally generated. I have variadic textures and variadic systems, and everything's all chaotic. And it's just great. I like that. Um, yeah. What do you think? I mean, yeah, you will have a huge amount of reusable game parts that you just literally just yank everything out and replace it with new shit. Yeah, if you focus on programming through the lens of um, working with data, right? Make everything data as much as possible, then that means that you can just swap data out, right? If everything is data, then it makes it very easy to change because you just change the data. So you want to make everything as data-driven as you possibly can, data-oriented design. It's just, and like, it's not necessarily like better or worse than other types, but it does give you more flexibility than you would normally find in other programming paradigms, right? So it's not like it's more correct or less correct. It gives you more flexibility. It's just more flexible than other systems, and frequently more optimal too. And just because of dealing with yeah. What do you think about this texture? I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't such shit to me. But I also don't want to use like actual textures. I want procedurally generated textures. And that's why I'm super happy with the wood. The wood. The wood came out really good. Yeah, the bricks came out pretty good too. Right. The bricks came out really good. The wood came out fucking excellent. Wood came out really great. Bricks came out really good. This stone now, this concrete flooring looking ass shit. Like, I don't know how I feel about it. Yeah. Yeah, behind the scenes stuff is a lot of fun. And I guess that's also kind of why I like doing like the streams and stuff like that too, you know, because it's like it's an archive of, you know, behind the scenes. If someone really wanted to find out exactly how all this was made, they can literally just take a look at the files. Like all of it in its most raw ass form is available on fucking YouTube. Right? It's not hidden. I don't care. This game is going to be available for free. The entire source is going to be available, you know, openly on fucking GitLab and getgood.io. This is fucking, you know, it's just, yeah. You know, oh, people are gonna be spoiled. I mean, I don't really get it. Part of it is that some people are going to want to have the spoiled. Like, some people are going to want to be spoiled, that they can get excited about it, so that they can tell their friends and convince their friends to play the game. You know, bring that, and like things like this here. You know, if you open up a FAQ or something, going over specific things so that people don't have to sift through the hours upon hours upon hours upon hours of me, you know, working on this game. Right. So, it's actually darken the bottom a little bit more. I mean, I think it being slightly lighter is a good thing. Like, it seems a little bit more inviting or welcoming or something. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this, right? Right now I'm just kind of nitpicking the visuals. So far, with all this stuff, it's there's still a little bit of wonkiness in there, but it's just gonna come with the territory of using procedurally generated textures and shit, you know? And these harsh scenes and stuff. You know, bricks, wood, concrete floor. This looks like it's a basement. You know, this looks very industrial. It looks like a basement. It looks like, you know, something purposefully made. And like that's, you know, a good thing. But the next project is going to be creating the procedurally generated levels. How am I going to do that? Because what's in the design do I want? That's a very real thing to keep in mind. So I want rooms and the corridors. And that's not exactly super easy to figure out always. Right? There's a lot of procedural generation concepts that you can put into place. For the purpose of frames, right? I do like the thickness of the walls and the size of the tiles. I think I'm happy with the tile size. Having these kind of large open areas is fine. I don't want to make myself much taller. Oh, what happens if I do? What is this? This makes me look like I'm on stilts. Well, this doesn't look very good. It looks like I'm too. I think slightly taller is pretty okay, actually. I think slightly taller. It sells the no doorway thing a little bit better. Right. Don't quite feel so fat. Don't feel a little bit more constrained, but not. You feel constrained but not constricted. If that makes any sense. It feels a little more convincing. I would love to do like an Atrian Odyssey-esque thing. And then, dungeon crawler. I mean, this is basically it. So dungeon exploration. You go to the end, you find the thing, you get it. That's the core loop. What do you do when you find the thing? When you get out? Alright. How do I do that? Wednesday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Tomorrow and Thursday. Tomorrow I'm gonna have Wednesday. Thursday I'm gonna have 2. What is the next one? Because I have the visuals. Textures are solid. Visually speaking, everything's fine. Everything is good. I've completely, utterly nailed down. Don't touch the fucking visuals or could you view bobbing? That could be a thing. Right? What is the size of the, level that I want? Do I want to do, like, actual, size of the image, size of the texture, size of the map size? Do I want to pass that in? Do I want to have, what other features do I want? This floor texture is starting to grow on me. I'm hitting it less and less. It's still not like the greatest, but it is what it is. I also don't know if this floor texture matches with the rest of the set. This is not a stark black and white, it is gray. And I don't know if that meshes very well. Like, it might be better if it was tile. Right? If it was like tile, or like cobblestone, like a dirt, because this isn't like harsh contrast. I'd expect more harsh contrast, right? Like with, this stuff up here, right? Like, everything else has like a very harsh contrast to it. It's also like a lot of other stuff, but it's fine. The collision is very nice now. I go all the way in here, and I can go put it on the way up in here, right? Right. So you don't ever get like stuck on anything, which is a good thing. I don't want people to get stuck. I don't want people getting stuck on shit. Right? And because it's round, people going diagonal won't get stuck. Because another way of handling that is you have a diamond-shaped collision box, and anything in the orthogonal directions, you don't have to worry about people getting stuck on stuff too much. Okay. Unless they're like exactly on the corner, right? But here, you won't be able to do that, right? You won't be able to go into that. Right? You can't go into here because you that's on the outside. You won't be able to do that. Because you'd be sitting like directly up into it, and there'll be like ambiguity. Yeah. Well, I mean, no, actually, you would be able to. You'd just be up on the flat, and then I guess you would walk into it, and then instead of sliding off to one side or the other, you just stop dead quickly. Unless you had something like that or something. But then the collision detection box is all wonky, and there's just a lot of things to keep in mind about it. So, So I think this is a good place to sit down. Visually speaking, it's perfect. Except for the floor. I don't know how if I feel Oh. Alright. Time to think clearly now that I am done. So let's go into scenes. I have to use the bathroom. I have to get some dishes out of my room. Put some stuff away. And just put some stuff away. Use the bathroom, put some stuff away. Yeah. So I'm gonna do that. And that will be okay. 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 I don't know, I was thinking of something. So what next? What next we got? What is it that we're gonna do next? Oh yeah. The Voronoi diagrams. You put like a point in each of these randomly. So depending where you are, no matter what, right, if you are in this upper quadrant, the only 4 cells that matter are these 4. Because by definition, the point, there is no point. Oh wait, no, hold on. Say you are right here, and there is point here and the point here. This distance is longer than this distance. Like, guaranteed. But we actually confine all of them to be within this circle. Then we will, and this will also give us nicer, more, it'll give us nicer cell structures, because you won't have a bunch of, like, you won't have very many situations where it's like this, in which case you have, you know, a line like that, and then like that, and then a line like that, right? So you don't have, yeah, these kind of situations here, like these boundary lines. They look nicer. After boundary circles, these can get very chaotic and really bad situations here. You have something like that, and then like that, right? Like these boundaries tend to look bad. But now, if we have a point, I don't know, here and here, well, no, you can still, wait, no, you can do this, and that. I'm trying to figure out how to break. So what do we want? We want the assertion that anything within certain sizes, right, will be valid, right? So we want the most, want something here, right? So the bad case is right here. That's the bad case. we want to fetch something from one of these. So we do, this is the furthest point here. This is the closest point here. Right? These 2 points are here, and then the farthest point is here. So is this, yeah, okay. So that is interesting. I think that is still closer. If I do it here, here, if I line these up, and I line that up to there, you can tell that the width is smaller than the height, which means that this will incorrectly still say that this is but there is no situation where something in here would be closer. But that's impossible, right? So, can't do a full, but like a 3x3 is bad, right? A 3x3 isn't, that's not the worst. A 3x3 isn't like the worst case. Do I think that's it. The reason why we can do that is because we can know for a fact that there is no way that there's no way that it's just the bounds are. We have a variable. We have a maximum and minimum, and we know that the closest, the closest option is always going to be within that. Like, so it's going to be in Windows 6. Yeah. Good. There is a possibility. If we make the system much more restrictive, we'll make the system super restrictive. Like within this range, this area here. Right. Then we could say that regardless of where it is in here, right? In this range here, we can make it so that even the furthest that we do the problematic one here, or like literally 0, 0, up here, and we can make it so that the closest point here is still farther than the farthest point here. You can do that. These are all things you they're a little bit difficult, but it's just easier with Voronoi cells. So with Voronoi, you do a 3x3, or a 3 by n, where n is the number of dimensions. Take it up. You can also do it in 3 dimensions, 4 dimensions, 5 dimensions, however many dimensions you want. 1 dimension doesn't make any sense. Yeah. So we can do that quite nicely. There are algorithms. Uh, but the main thing is that we want to have. Oh wow, everything is working. Hello, Awen. How are you doing tonight? Yeah, I'm thinking about doing Voronoi, but I don't know if I want to or not. Because she's kind of a pain in the ass, and I don't know if it would match the aesthetic properly or not. Here, this is what I have. I have this stuff down here. So I've changed the no more no more roof testings. Yeah. Replaced it with the wood. Have like a. It's going. It's going. It is that it is. It is going. I don't know if I like this stone, concrete, cement texture or not. I don't know how you feel about it. I mean, it's pretty good. Switching from intestines to 4 kidneys, I guess so. So definitely, for one, I don't like that. So why is this doing weirdness? So okay. No, what happens with it? That's not quite it. Okay, why? One object in the game is an organ and an That's how you want to look at it. Okay, let's do. Okay. Thunder. Why is this a thing? And I am doing that. Yeah, see how I do. I'm not doing anything too crazy. Okay, so the absolute okay, so the dot product can be all the way up to 2. The dot product can be 2. Okay. Which means I do actually want to say. And then I think that does it perfectly. Not bad. Naughty. Divide by 2 minutes. Yeah, I think so. Because then I can bump this all the way up to, like, say, I don't know, 16. Oh, that is very tiny. I don't know if I like that. The higher one. The higher frequency is more persistent rather than the lower one. Interesting. Okay. Okay. Which means that I actually want to be 0.7. By the time all of in, and then it's no longer a thing, right? So key times 16. Yeah, there we go. This is very much more chaotic. I like this a lot. Okay. I don't like what's happening with my damn computer though. It is not been happy. Boy, can you stop being a fucking asshole, please? That'd be great. You really stop being such a dick. Come on. What is happening? What is my temperature? Why is my temperature so high? Because I can't breathe. I do not like this. I have a good way of pulling down my laptop. I'm okay. What's it? Why is it struggling so fucking hard, dude? Why is it struggling? These lag spikes are not okay. Yeah, I don't know why it keeps giving me lag spikes. 9. Because I'm doing too many anyway. So why? Why did I... Oh, I know what I can do. Is another. Look. Watch. I mean, like, this is pretty good. I'm sure there's a bunch of other things I could do to math it out properly or whatever. But this looks... I'm okay with this. And if I want, I can sharpen these a lot more. Do the, like, I can raise it to the power of, and take this and raise it to like a really high power, or a really low power, to the power of 1 over a 30 bar, like 10 or 32 or some shit. Really flatten these out a lot more, and make the divots much more and deeper. Pointed. Why is it at 90 degrees? Why am I at 95? Why am I at 92? Why everyone on the sedan part? I can damn near boil water on this thing. I could cook some fucking ramen on my computer. Okay, What are you looking for a thing to do? Okay. 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 Um. Okay. So what is it that I need to fulfill? I need to. What is missing? Let's do a little bit of math here. Okay. So we want to say, alright, f of x is equal and f of x is equal to, we know that we want to have x a x plus 1 minus a. We want to bring out a, right? So this is ax plus 1 minus a. We can bring ax minus a plus 1. Really? And then we bring those out, so it's a x minus 1 plus 1. A x minus 1 plus 1. A times minus 1 plus 1. And the reason why is 0.5 times about And the reason why is because then I could say okay. Yeah. Oh, interesting. Yeah. So basically, all this does just makes it so that it's all Gucci. So we could also do instead of this, say um and divided by 5. So that's fine. Splash size. Oh, weird. Times splash size times 2. More times. Monday. Monday. Wow. And this is like super jittery, but very cloud-like. Very. Oh, this is super chaotic. I kind of really fucking love that. I like how garbage my frame rate is. I don't know if this is a problem with my computer trying to do 10 billion fucking things at once, or if it's an issue with the shader, because this is really chaotic. I am digging that. I'm digging this. Did you see, like, the regularity is almost completely gone. Because I'm doing it enough times, it's interesting. Oh, So this is a little bit better. Mm. This isn't quite as as I was expecting it. But, I mean, it's actually probably powered by probably actually squash times times PAL 5 raised to and this is the variant. Yeah. Yeah, this is the variant. There could be other things I could do, like sending information, so it's not like, you know, something like the PAL splotch size thing, like that. That should be 5 to the power of splotch size. That doesn't need to be calculated every frame. I mean, I'm also kind of assuming that I'm smart enough to deal with all that, right? And this looks way better than what I was having before. This is such a better fucking format. It just looks so much cleaner. It just looks nicer. This is way less periodic. It looks a lot more chaotic and random, even though it's like arguably less. But this just looks nice and clean. This looks great. And I think if I change splotch size to say 12, it should be roughly the same size, yeah. And all that's changed is the amount of detail. Right? So we have splotch size. It's like 6. There's my computer dog shit. And yeah, that should be fine. So I still get a similar amount of detail. Very quickly and missing. So and everything is static. It's kept its state perfectly, right? Time to divide by 5. Well, and then divide by 2 minus k. And k is just cut in half every time. And then we can attenuate it to any level that we want. Right. This is what I mean by doing data-driven, data-oriented, data-driven design and patterning. Right? We can make this 95. We can make this 5. We can make this a whole host of more, and change the subtlety of things. Right? However it is that we want it to be. Okay, so the input go through, so these things going. And all of this would be great. Yeah. So let's see here. Yeah. It's like some of these lines aren't like the greatest, right? But like it's fine. And it could be a little bit more texture for that. But I think right now this stark contrast is and I don't think that is proper. No. Yes. Okay. And because now we have a bunch of these. Interesting. What more splat? Oh, if that is stark white. Because I'm further away from the floor, it's going to be darker. Okay. Okay. So I do believe that this is up to minus. I think if I subtract this by even 0.1, yeah, and then we have plateaus. I think we have plateaus. Yeah, I'm having plateaus. Okay. Interesting. Okay. And I should be able to do some. Should be able to like cut it in half. One last. Yeah, I'd like to one last. And then. So I should be able to say divide equals 2. Yeah. And then divide by 2, and then I should now divide times equal 1.0. Yeah, I think that's it. I actually do think that's it. Yeah, because we cut it in half and then multiply by the offset. Oh. Monday. Why? Monday. Okay. So I think. Yeah, I think those are. I don't know. It's not that. Like, I don't understand why the floor is so damn hard. Compared to, yeah, I'm closer to the ceiling, so I'm going to be done. So it's going to be right. Like the walls have a lot more area that is white, so I think that's what. Let's say like I want to do something. That's basically white. And that is like the same color, that's the same shade as the bricks next to it at that distance. So, right, the shade of the brick and the shade of the okay. So it is correct. I can do 85, right? And this is just like how much of it, I'm making it. That's very stark, very cloud-like. Or I can make it much more, that. And it's all really good stuff. Yeah, it's very classified, but it just looks really good, honestly. I'm very, very pleased with how this is turned out. This looks fucking incredible. I don't see, like, any real regularity to it. It's very chaotic. It looks very cement, stone, cementy, slate. Like, it looks like stone. It reads like stone. But I don't know if this is like a full. So this says so. I don't know if are these from one side to another. Right. So I could do several things, right? Because I could also say, hey, the red blotch is, this, do a bunch of indexing, other shit like that, right? Um, because like one of the things I can do is, you know, do I have access to, you know, do I have access to cards, right? And then I can say, you know, this is 1, this is 2, this is 4, and just add them all up. And now it's 7, right? So if like the indexer is 7, then I can do the thing. And this gives it, you know, 8 possibilities. You know. 0, that is, I can say that like 0 is a 7 is a wall. I guess this is 4. A floor tile. This is a wall tile. Right? And then I can also have metadata. Ooh. That's interesting. There's like a bunch of different things I can do with it, right? Because, like, graphically speaking, there's a bunch of things that I can do with it. Because it wouldn't necessarily be such a bad thing if I had, like, certain titles have specific situations, right? I mean, there's also a few other optimizations. Yeah. Where is it? There's a few if statements that I can do that I don't necessarily want to do. There's like a few if statements that I realized I can do. Yeah, here. Right. Here, what I could do is I could say flip or I could do, yeah, u dot x times equals the sine of flip minus 0. Right. Done. But I'm also not using this algorithm. Because this is like this little text. In test text. Wall text. Treat text. We text and test yeah. Go with this again, right? Oh, that is. Interesting. That's very interesting. What did I do wrong? Hmm. Right. Okay. Son of a bitch. I forgot to rename it. All texture, ceiling texture. Invest. There we go. And it all works just the same. Animated, ticky-tacky, and they all look just the same. So that is a good one. That's a good one. Becky and the all made even testing and they all look just wonderful. Huh. That one links it to that one. Interesting. Cool. But that's not the one that we're going to be doing. I just did that because, fuck it, that's one. Weird. What I'm gonna do. Cool. So I think I still don't know how I felt about it. I feel like the overall brightness of the floor is like so low. I don't know. There's something about it that's a little bit off-putting. I want it to be the ceiling. Swap the ceiling and the floor again. That would be something. Looks better. Alright. Hmm. Interesting. 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 Did you know it would be really freaking crazy? I just the ceiling detached. Interesting. This is no longer used as. This is reused as overcast clouds. Interesting. I want to make it read like it's solid more. I want to make it more read like it's. Well, I think it looks better, but. What? Hello, welcome back. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Okay. Well, if you're going to be doing, if you're going to be jumping straight in, then, whoa, I haven't done that. I'm kind of really bulked out, so I am going to be doing the thing. If I can get to it. It's not 20. Yeah, so that's just not look like an overcast sky. They want. I don't want to do this. Because like, if it's really good as like, I don't know, like, because, um, Now this is that's like no past the sky. Right? And that just looks like it's infinitely far away. And it makes it look like it's like the top is open. That looks pretty good. That looks really good. So what I can do is before I can also make this slowly increase over time and do a bunch of other cool stuff. Before okay, so before I do anything else, I can say val y2 now. And when I do the oh, hello. Oh, hi. Hello. Oh. And then at this point, do this no longer looks. This looks more like. Here, and I can say. Oh, she's sexy. Okay. Okay, that looks way better. Oh, she's sexy. Okay. Cool, cool. Wow. Actually, what I can do, I can say that is equal to because now and 5 I can do that. And that's pretty subtle. And I'm gonna suck it in. Kind of want to go with that, right? And then I think I want to do. Oops, again. I think what I want to do is again that I want to. Yeah, okay. That looks better. That looks better. Okay. So it's still really smarty baited. and there's still a decent amount of detail, but it looks more like it's marble. Right, this looks like marble, this looks like stone, this looks like it, this doesn't look like clouds. So I think I am a Gucci gay. And in which case, and guess what? It's alright. Hold on. In which case, yeah. Why?